And this is Auntie, and I am here to do a very quick review on Married at First Sight. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. And to all of my nieces and nephews who've been with Auntie from the long haul, thank you so much for your continued support. I am going to go ahead on and get into this review of Married at First Sight, Season 6, Episode 1 and 2. So this year, without fail, we meet three couples. And of course, this season, like all the other seasons, they had to make sure that they had that one black couple. I don't know why Married at First Sight does this. If they're going to try to do different people of different ethnicities, I think that they should really reconsider having not just two white couples and a black couple. I know that that's probably not important to some people, but it is just an observation. Every year there has to be a black couple, and I know that there are more people who are in this dating pool than what we see displayed on TV. So if I had one thing to say as far as an observation and a critique, it would be to have some other couples on the show who represent the United States fully. Okay, having gotten that out of the way, we look and we see, our little new couples. The first couple that we have is Ryan and Jacqueline. Ryan is a firefighter. He also works in construction. He has multiple homes that he is renting out, and he's just like, a man's man. He seems to be very bubbly and energetic and all that kind of stuff. And then we have Jacqueline. Jacqueline is a technical sales representative. She had a boyfriend who passed away from some type of immune system, whatever it was. He passed away. And so, she's trying love all over again. She says that, she believes that this is going to be, really worth the risk. And so I'm hoping it is. They say that the reason why they put them together is because they both share the same optimistic type personality. And they're very energetic and high energy people. We see him on the first episode. They tried to, put a different spin on it. All of these couples are from Boston, Massachusetts. And so they tried to put a different spin on it to have the couples meet one another. So all the girls met each other and all the guys met each other. And we saw with Ryan that Ryan said that he wanted to make sure that he stopped at nothing to make sure that his fiance Jacqueline had the best of everything. And so when they guys went out to get wedding rings, he decided to up the ante and buy her a $2,300 ring. Okay. I thought that was really nice of him. He says that basically, the marriage really starts off with the value of the ring. A lot of the guys that were there kind of joked and criticized him because her ring size was a 7, and I didn't know where the joke was or why this particular person made this joke. But he did, and I thought it was just really low class of him. It really showed where he was. This is not a competition. And I'll tell you, we'll go into a little bit more of that as I continue on with the review. The next couple that we is John and Molly. John was in finances. He lost his job to do this show. He said that he thought that it was another guy that said he thought that it was worth the risk. He said that when, he told his job that he was going to be doing this show, that they told him that he had to pick, and so he picked love over his job. And I hope that that pays off for him. We are currently in an economy where if you lose your job, it's really hard for some people to find another job. And so I'm hoping that he chose right. He said that his parents are divorced, and that their divorce took 3 years, so he saw the worst of relationships, or how a relationship can be. And then we have Molly. Molly is a insurance girl. Hold on, let me make sure I get the right title before somebody be telling me off out here up in these YouTube streets. She is into commercial insurance. Her dad passed when she was young. She has 3 sisters, and she talks about how the mom took care of them and how they all lived in a 2-bedroom apartment. Her and her sisters are close. She's actually a twin. And she says that all of her friends are married and have children, and this is something that she desired to do. And so, you know what? She's getting married. And she seems like one of those really nice women, but has a whole lot of hang-ups to me. We'll go further into her story as well. I don't know about Molly and John. John says that he served in the military, and this is what really changed his life. I noticed that at the wedding, I didn't see head nor hide of his father. And even when he was making the phone calls and saying, Mom, you need to come, I never saw him make a telephone call to his dad. So I don't know if as a result of the divorce that, him and the dad became estranged. But we'll have to wait and see, what's really going on with that. But your auntie peeped it. And so I just was like, okay, this seems like it's going to be like a really complicated relationship. Because if you... Okay, so anyway, let me stop. I'm going to go back and introduce the other couples, and then I'm going to get into it. So the next person we see is Shawniece. Shawniece is a cosmetologist, and she has her own wig line. She says that her dad had 9 children, and that her mother has 4 girls. And she's really a bubbly girl. She's one of those party type girls. She's a natural. She wears her hair natural, so she's, I guess maybe rooted in her culture. I'm not sure. I know that a lot of women like myself are going natural. But, she's very interesting to me. And she's marrying this guy, and I think his name is Jephte. Jephte is Haitian, and he is the oldest of 9 children. They said that they hooked the 2 of them up because they both are the oldest children in the family, and that they've helped raise their families. And that's the kind of, I guess, the basis of why they connected them together. I absolutely don't think that these 2 similar things is going to help their relationship. A lot of times you want to walk away from that kind of responsibility, and you want somebody who's going to, I don't know. I don't see it happening for them. So anyway, again, as I said, they had the couples meet each other. So when the girls met each other, they talked about regular girl stuff, except for Shawniece. Shawniece wanted to talk about masturbation. I don't know why this is something that continues to keep coming up in her conversation, but it is. When the guys met, they met each other at the ring shop and everything, because they were looking for rings. Each couple was looking for rings together. And John made a comment about... John is the one that made the comment about Ryan's girlfriend ring being a size 7. See, what happened was when Jephte made the and I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right or wrong, so I'm gonna say Jay. When Jay told him, what his fiance's ring size was, the jeweler made a comment and said, "Oh, okay, well, she's petite." And so when they said something about Ryan's girl, his fiance's ring size being a 7, that's when he made that little comment. And I really felt like, he's one of those macho type of guys that has all the muscles and looks very well, because he's very nice looking, but he is very insecure around other men. And if he is not that alpha male, then he is the type of guy that'll tear another man down. And again, like I said, it's not a competition. You the one that walked away from your job in order to do this show. You may have wanted to think about that, and maybe tried to get another job. Maybe just the time frame wasn't good enough. I don't know what it was, but I'm absolutely not feeling him. I don't know whether or not they've made a good decision this year. It just seems like the couples. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. Now, well, we met the couples last year. As you all know, I did reviews on last year, so if you get an opportunity, go back and look at those. But when we made predictions last year, I was a little bit more optimistic than I am about these couples. I don't know if they were all matched up for the right reasons. And the reason why I say that is because on their wedding day, Jay, he comes from a Haitian and a very religious family. When he told his mother that he was getting married at first sight, the mother went off and started speaking in tongues. And so it doesn't appear that this girl has very much of a religious background, because all she's talking about is masturbation. When she went out with her girlfriends to her bachelorette party, she just seems like she's just kind of off the coof. And I don't know, I may be misjudging her, but you know what? First impressions. That's what I'm going off of. If I was his mother, I would probably really be concerned. And the thing about it was, when she met him, she asked him, of course, what did he do? And he told her that he was an elementary school teacher. But she stands out there and she talks to her brand new husband of every bit of 15 minutes, and she talks to him about masturbation. And he was like, hold up, slow up a little bit about that. I got children and I have an image. And she just doesn't seem to listen. When they were at the wedding reception, she actually got up in front of all of the guys and made a comment and got up with the microphone and said, I'm getting ready to do something at the special request of my husband. And she had him, pull up in the chair and sit in a chair while she gave him a lap dance in front of everybody, his religious family and everything. If she is going to make this relationship with him work, then she absolutely needs to make sure that she listens. And so far, what I've seen is a woman who is not listening, who's living off of fantasy, who's living off of probably what she's seen on, YouTube videos and stuff of people doing lap dance with couples and, at their wedding reception and stuff. But you know what? He's already told you that he's an elementary school teacher. So I really don't see this relationship lasting too long. I'm hoping that I'm wrong, but I don't see it lasting too long, because she has to get out of that YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat frame of mind and realize that this is real life. This is a real man. You're living in Boston, Massachusetts. And he is just not the kind of guy that, to me, appears to want a woman who's loose in the streets. Some guys just don't like it. And you know what? To each his own. I mean, everybody like what they like, but he just doesn't seem and appear to me to be the type of guy to like it. One thing I noticed about Molly is that Molly is very pretty. She's very poised, but she is very pessimistic. Everything that she is saying is too good to be true. It's too good to be true. There's got to be something wrong with John. He has that rugged look. He's very attractive. He seems like he's a go-getter, but it's just too good to be true. And if you're going into a relationship, Molly, for the very first time, and you're being as pessimistic as you are, then you are automatically setting yourself up for failure, because the first time he does something wrong, you're going to nitpick on it, and you're going to make it bigger than what it is because you want so bad for something to be wrong with him. And I don't know if it's because you lost your dad very early and you've had a lot of disappointments in life, and maybe there was some things as a result of your mom being a single parent that you and your sister suffered at. And I don't know. But, this is too good to be true type thing is just really unfortunate. And I think that you're not giving him a chance. Add it on add it on to, because we're going to, there's an addition to, he's not working. So that's automatically going to be pressure in a relationship when he says something about, having job interviews and Nick Knight had to give a dog a bone. She was like, I can barely take care of myself. So even though she's a realist, she looks at things, she looks at the glass half empty instead of looking at the glass half full. So I don't know how this relationship is going to work off with them, because they automatically starting off with, financial problems. We'll see how it works. Ryan, I thought Ryan talked too much. I thought that, I think that he has to stand back for a little bit. He has this fantasy of her being his princess. He keeps calling her a princess. And, she doesn't say anything about it, but you can tell, by the look at her face that she's like, okay, he's blowing smoke up my butt. And I think he just needs to kind of step back. I like the fact that Ryan wore a tan suit and some brown shoes, because he really wanted to prove that he's not that traditional man, that he's, a little different. And I like that. I like the boldness of him doing that. But I think he's running his mouth too much. He's one of those guys, one of those hoorah type of guys. He works at the firehouse, so he's, around a lot of testosterone and men all the time. He likes paintballing and stuff like that. And she's very athletic herself. But I think that if he doesn't, become more sensitive and just kind of sit back and allow this girl to have some space, there are going to be some problems in the relationship. Do I see them staying together? No, I don't, because I think that Ryan has a false sense of what marriage is about, and I think that he's going to find out very early on that things are not the way that he thinks that they're going to be. Marriage is hard work, and that's why, it's something that I opted never to do. I don't know if it's something I'll do later on in my life. But I don't know if any of these couples are going to stay together. I'm hoping that they are. I think if Molly would get that stick up out of her butt and really start looking at things more optimistically, I think that maybe her and John will work out, because they put them together because of the trials and tribulations that they've been in their lives. But I think that sometimes people need to be yin to a yang. And when I look at Jay, he's very shy. He's a shy guy. And you know what? And I kind of look at Jacqueline the same way. Jacqueline is kind of shy, kind of reserved and everything. She's just a girl's girl. And I really, really like her. And I'm hoping that it works out with all three of the couples, but I'm not sure. We will see in the upcoming weeks whether or not these couples stay together. But so far, my predictions for these couples of staying together. Okay, let me say another thing too. Shawniece kept saying over and over and over, divorce is not an option. You stuck with me. You stuck with me. And you know what? That for me, if I was with a man and the man was saying, Auntie, you stuck with me. You can't leave me. You stuck with me. It would make me feel like I wanted to escape Alcatraz, like I was being set up with something, or that there was some traits or something about this guy that would cause me to want to leave. And I didn't like it. I did like the fact that the mom, who was not for this marriage at first, stopped the wedding, and said, what, I want to give her my belt. I don't have a daughter, but I want to give her my belt that I wore on my wedding dress. I thought that was very nice of Jay's mom to do. And she said the every time she wears it, it's a blessing on the marriage. And I was like, oh, okay. I really do like Ryan's mom. She's full of life. I like the mom and the dad. They're very, very full of life. And so I'm hoping that they incorporate the families into the relationship this season, because I think that that's probably what these 6 couples are gonna need. But anyway, that was just Meet the Couples. I know I probably was all over the place, but I hope you got the gist of it. Each week we're gonna come out here and we're gonna talk about these people, and hopefully love will grow in these relationships. We'll see. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for being here. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Talk to you in the weeks to come. Bye.